The topic is Internet and Web Page Design, and we're talking to Mr. Perry and Mr. Robinson. And of course, gentlemen, before we had our second commercial break, we were talking about web pages and web page designs. Let's, over the last few minutes that we have here, talk about the company that the two of you are involved with, dealing with the design of web pages. Let's talk about that company.
Okay, the name of the company is Nebula Interactive Multimedia, and we specialize in web page design, but we don't let our talents rest there. We do videotapings of any kind of special event that you may have. We actually record MIDI files. We do printing of business cards and actually printing of wedding programs. We do a little bit of everything that has to do with something multimedia. And we do have more than just the two of us. There are about 8 of us all in all that are involved, and all of us some kind of way tied to Tennessee State University.
Okay, well, now what are some of the things that you're involved with now, Mr. Robinson?
Okay, well, as far as with Nebula Interactive Media, my basic part, well, I help out as far as, web page design. Basically, all of us can do web pages, so whenever a major web project comes to us, we have quick turnaround, because we like to always subdivide our projects amongst us. My main areas as far as with computer networking, within a second or third year business, we plan to actually provide access to the internet. So the basic part where I'm going to come in, I'll have to be building the computer networks, basically setting up what are known as the communication protocols, or TCP/IP, which is basically the backbone of communication for computers to communicate over the internet. And so that's basically where I come in. And then also other areas we're trying to look at is what's known as a DVD, or digital video disc production. And basically, some people have heard of DVD, some people have not. Basically, all DVD it will be the future's replacement for the videotape. And all a DVD disc is it looks just like a compact disc, but the only difference is it holds more information. A compact disc can hold 650 megabytes of information. That's 650 million bytes of information. A DVD disc can hold 14.7 gigabytes of information. That's 14.7 billion bytes of information. So, those are areas we always try to shoot at. We mainly specialize in web page design, but, as my partner, Mr. Perry, was saying, we don't limit ourselves to that. We realize that the internet's a growing horizon, and so we're always trying to grow with it.
If you have an opportunity, Mr. Perry, to speak to persons in this area who ought to be involved with the internet, what would you say to them this morning?
I'd say that getting on internet is a way of putting your business out into the world. Right now, if you're just advertising on bulletin boards around town, or if you're just advertising in a newspaper around town, then you just have an around town business. But when you advertise on a web page on the internet, you're able to go to Dallas, Atlanta, Los Angeles, and all it is just a second. It doesn't even cost you as much as you might think it would, because as long as that person has a computer and knows your address, then you're able to advertise to those different cities.
So it is, in a real sense, what they call electronic commerce. You really do have an opportunity to expose yourself in terms of your business to a much wider and a much larger audience. Is there any way that you can judge the impact that or the visits that you might have on the internet with your business? They
do have things like web counters that you can add to your web page. What this does is every time someone, what we call in the business a hit on your site, they're able to count the number of hits you have. And what you're looking for is someone's page that has a lot of different hits on it. The more the merrier, because that means more people are visiting that page, and more likely that your page will be seen if you're able to advertise on that page.
And so there's really a method whereby you can almost judge the impact that your site is having in terms of the number of visits that the site has. And now, when we talk about this internet of computer users and et cetera that's worldwide, how many are we actually talking about in the United States of America, Mr. Perry? I mean, how many folks are we dealing with that might be on the internet?
Well, you're looking at a very large number. It's almost uncountable. It's anyone that has a computer in there, a computer and a modem in their house or office can actually access the internet. So you're looking at quite a few. You just count the number of people and maybe put it in half of a city. And you're talking about those people have access to your business if you're on the web.
And of course, if you're not, you can, as you said, you're local, you can advertise around town,
Exactly.
you've got an around town business.
Exactly.
But if you take that same business and can construct your a web page for it, you can put that web page on the internet, and people have access to seeing your business worldwide.
Right.
Exactly.
We've talked about search engines before. What we do is you're able to do a search engine for a certain city, and usually a certain city may have a search engine for people that are located in that city. And if someone's trying to move here from Atlanta, they can actually locate that city and look it up on the web and find your business.
And of course, we've got about 35 seconds here, Mr. Robinson, before we call it an end to the show today. But during the last 30 seconds we have.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you a good book to check out. Just as far as, from the African American perspective, is Earl Graves, the publisher of Black Enterprise. He just put out his book, How to Succeed in Business Without Being White. Inside of it, he details the importance of the internet, and he also details, the fact that, just like Bill Gates said in his book, if you want to be worldwide, advertise on the internet. And secondly, he mentioned a business out of North Carolina.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week for another performance.